Players are seek for trust, and we need to give it to them, not by increasing odds. At Amarix, Provably fair is not just a buzzword. It's a strategic advantage that drives trust, engagement, and innovation.
You're listening to 15M Mastery, a show that empowers you with insights from the leading iGaming experts to enhance your personal or business performance. The show is brought to you by tech-driven affiliate and media company Already Media, and supported by the AI-powered data analytics platform Blask. Yo Investments, a fund manager investing in outstanding people who are disrupting the iGaming, fintech, and crypto industries. And BC Game, the multi-award winning crypto casino with a player-centric approach. Hey everyone, and welcome back to 15M Mastery. Today we're joined by Aleksandra Mouton, CEO of Amarix, a game provider pioneering Provably fair technology in iGaming. Aleksandra helps operators build trust to transparency, verifiable gaming experience that places players in control. In this episode, we will explore how Provably fair gaming is reshaping trust in the iGaming industry. Welcome, Aleksandra.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So let's get straight to the action. So many leaders view Provably fair gaming as just another buzzword. What benefits can provider expect once it's integrated?
The benefits of implementing Provably fair technology exist at multiple levels, for game providers, for casino operators, and even at the global industry level. As a whole, the well-known advantages of Provably fair can be summarized as follows, and everyone pretty much aware about them, like increased player trust, transparency reduced concern, leading to higher engagement and loyalty, competitive edge. This is a nice sales point. This technology eliminates the need of external audits and third-party dependencies. Players can self-verify results. Also, it reduces server load and make your architecture more scalable. As a result, obviously, it improves security, reduces risks of fraud and manipulation, and make your company Web3 ready for enabling blockchain and smart contracts. However, talking about regulatory compliance, it's too early to discuss, as this technology is not yet widely recognized by regulators. More work needs to be done to make Provably fair gaming an industry standard. Many in industry still believe that adding more excitement and volatility to the game is the best way to retain players. While this works short term, we've seen that once players experience the most exciting content possible, they will eventually ask the harder question, why I can't get more? And this question is caused by lack of trust. Instead of delaying this inevitable question, fair gaming is a solution that future-proofs the industry, not just against regulatory tightening, but against evolving players' expectation. Players are seek for trust, and we need to give it to them, not by increasing odds. At Amarix, Provably fair is not just a buzzword. It's a strategic advantage that drives trust, engagement, and innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. Love what you just mentioned about engagement and players willing to have more once they feel like it's a great feature and they like it. But the real question is, like, the audience is probably uneducated about complex technologies, especially like cryptographic verification. How do you make it actually accessible to the average player? Because it's quite complicated, even just by the way you're talking about it.
Replying in short, it's still a challenge. The concept of customer education in the B2C vertical seems rather superficial. Just add a verify button and show players how to click on it. But that's not enough. As absurd as it may sound, the implementation of technologies that will ultimately give us more freedom and become the operational standard is currently a matter of popularity among existing market players. And these are not the end users. Ideas that would be realized must initially be popular and presented with a clear marketing position. They need to go viral before they're implemented. And here we find ourselves at a crossroad. Who really need to popularize this idea? B2C players or B2B experts? The end players seek reliability and trust in Provably fair gaming. But can player be satisfied with just one game in a casino given this technology when the greatest amount of distrust comes from the interaction with the casino operator, not the game provider. And users experience communication problems between the operator and game provider, seeing the result of all flaws in agreement. For example, in disputes about non-payment, the operator will always blame the game provider's math, and the provider will blame the operator's strict payout policy for not paying the legitimate winning. As a result, the player becomes a victim. While the B2B partners can continue arguing over the truth for months via email exchanges. Therefore, I see the implementation of probably fair technology through operators as more effective rather than through players who needs to be educated. The idea needs to be communicated to them that this technology is important for them and will eliminate any disputes with partners, preventing the players from becoming a victim in every disputed situation, as it was been in the past. I would naively like to believe that there is a possibility to implement this technology through negotiations between B2B market players and collaboration on this issue. But practice shows that reverse methods in the B2C market work better than direct negotiations. Literally, it seems that waiting for a wave of distrust among customers and waiting for a business response to this wave is easier than implementing the technology through collaborative methods. So I make my team ready for this wave and I edit the button.
Got it. So, by listening to your answer, I completely kind of put myself in the operator shoes, where my roadmap is huge, my technology gap is even bigger, and my team is struggling to deliver the next big feature. But it then leads me to like integration costs and technological complexity, which will worry me as an operator. How can operators start small with probably fair features?
Well, the integration itself of this technology is not overly complex because the technology is not that complex. But the main challenge for operator is dealing with poorly designed architectures. If the platform is monolithic, it needs to be rebuilt into a microservices architecture to stay competitive. And this is an evidence. The integration of smart contract and cryptography becomes easier once the platform is split into independent services. The process of implementing this technology starts with developing a platform architecture that allows for multiple servers to work together. This includes creating servers for random number generation, platform seed and client seed, and deciding which verification elements should be handled by users. While initially the platform will manage transaction verification and logs, the goal is to shift the responsibility to the customers, particularly in areas like payments and anti-fraud measures. The very first and quite small step in development is to hire engineers who can design this architecture and integrate various systems. A first engineer will actually design the architecture. The second engineer is needed to create a self-audit system that allows business team to monitor customer behavior without relying on traditional transaction logs. Once these two engineers finalize the platform specs, the system can be automated, removing manual intervention and enabling a decentralized structure. This leads to great optimization and efficiently. With a decentralized system, integrating third-party providers becomes easier and almost like regular work. A partner will be selected to add a third layer of acceptance criteria, eventually converting all third-party contracts into smart contracts. While initial changes require significant internal work, the integration with partners will become smoother, and resistance from third parties can be minimized by maintaining a separate old-fashioned hub alongside to the new system. The trick is that big companies have no option and they can't live on monolith systems. They already start this work. And this is the very first step to implement smart contracts.
Yeah, I completely understand. And, I think nowadays, and pretty much I think this is something like which is the essence of iGaming industry, transparency and trust been always the main two key drivers for players to stick to either product or the platform. So do you think like new technologies like machine learning or AI can help to bring more transparency to iGaming industry even further?
Yes, this technology for me now, they will make the biggest emphasis on analytical tools of operators. And they are actually designed to make this analysis for operators. The main problem with operator analytics is that we need to study player behavior patterns. But instead, we are studying the symptoms of their behaviors. In other words, we have many transactions that need to be grouped, patterns need to be defined, and actions must be taken based on these decisions. However, during the process of developing solutions, we realize that the analysis is too complex and start to simplify our approach. Instead of developing a comprehensive cluster analysis using correlation analytics of known transactional data and drawing conclusions with Pareto analysis, we end up by using only Pareto analysis to determine which audience is important to be analyzed. And then we conduct using a very limited set of correlations. In these terms, machine learning and AI may replace a lot of manual work of our analysts who are doing this small analytics on group of customers and can really proceed a pattern analysis that is needed for operator. Let's be honest, majority of operators who tells like I understand all needs of my clients maybe as maximum did a quite good segmentation based on transaction. They do not analyze patterns. These tools are not accessible by humans. This is big systems that may provide these calculations. And we need to adapt AI and machine learning mechanism to actually better understand our business, where we operate, and become more proactive rather than reactive on customers' needs. We need to see these needs via data, not via our self-experience.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Okay, my next question is how do actually operators use big data? Because you mentioned that there is a lot of data involved. So how they use big data to check that games are fair and as the result improve the player experience?
Well, operators, they use big data for many questions, and they mention the one that I mentioned more frequently in Sphere is monitoring game outcomes and patterns, where actually the data is very limited because it's mainly about game outcomes if we're talking about third-party integration. And patterns, they're more transactional information that is transferred via API. Operators make auditing and compliance on big data, personalizing players' experience, identifying fraud and manipulation. Some operators tell that they use big data for improving game design and features, which is not 100% truth in my opinion, because you can't build these patterns only on historical data if you don't make a very deep analysis. So mainly they use A/B testing or any other ABC group testing to compare two solutions. And of course, they analyze players' feedback. So altogether gives you an idea on what player actually thinks about your product. And here we go. For each of these tasks, there is a separate department in your teams that is doing reporting. And to combine these departments in one is unhuman work. This should be done with a system. I mentioned just 6 domains of analysis, and it's already impossible to deal with 6 big analytics teams.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. So I think the last question for today is like from the operator point of view, if someone is interested in probably fair gaming, what is the first step they should take to begin this journey?
I would start with basics. If it hasn't been implemented yet in your casino platform, as probably fair searching for trust among players, make them trust in your core functions. Ensure deposits and withdrawals with hash inscription. Make your payments clear. Go beyond showing history of transaction. Inscript them. That's how you definitely catch attention to smart contract among players. Plus, you would get support from payments team, as they will see you as a low-risk operator. in terms of paybacks, for example, and chargebacks that's often met in our sphere. And the other types of deposit frauds will be eliminated with the Inscript system. Then teach your support team to use these hashes to get information and allow them to teach your clients how to use this verification. You will be surprised how quickly the number of requests to your support team with the subject "Where is my deposit?" will drop, as long as players understand that you are making it totally transparent. Then, as long as you got support from payment system and support team that will actually have more free time to work and focus on something more creative in their business, continue to work with transactions and add bonus transaction in list of smart contract. Show your players that you track every single bonus and you don't simply burn them. You will get second wave of profits here. Anti-fraud will see that the amount of bonus hunters will either drop or the anti-fraud managers will manage to automate algorithm of searching of bonus hunters and block them immediately. So at this stage, you will actually get monetary benefits because you will start to save money after implementing this technology. Then when you are done with basic and your core function are fully encrypted, this is the time to continue with marketing and product. Make your bonus system fully probably fair RNG based. Don't give free spins and free bets and deposit bonus randomly. Make it as a lottery and inscript them in fair way. Customers will be engaged because they will see that they are playing against you, not that they are getting bonuses randomly. Actually, not randomly, but on your choice. Now they will see that you are doing it really randomly. Remove manual work, optimize operational team, make marketing guys work less but more efficient. Meanwhile, while you're busy with implementation and bonus system, look at your product. And there, I was thinking about this question previously. Surprisingly, I found out that the most interesting domain to implement fair gaming is in sportsbook. In fact, the problem of sportsbook is that you have to store a lot of data about each odd, and the operators, they don't like to do it. So they just create a coupon, show it in betting history, and don't go too much in details. Or they offset this work to big companies like BetRadar, BetConstruct, who has to hold all this data, what exactly has happened on the game on their servers. If you use here hash inscription, you will be able to offset these analytics on the client side. Client will feel very protective with you. He will feel you as a source of information and he will trust more to your product. Then when he will fully trust to your sportsbook, he may start to take into consideration that casino can be also fair. And that's where Amarix stands. In fact, to make casino games fair, you need to implement this culture of fairness on all the levels of casino operating. We can't just force our clients to believe that our casino games is the most fair in the world, which is the case. We need them to understand what does it mean to be fair. And step by step, starting with core function and moving to product, any operator can build this trustful culture.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Aleksandra. I think your insights on bringing transparency to the iGaming through technology are really inspiring and fascinating. I truly believe that many operators will find value in your practical approach to building trust. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us in this episode.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to talk.